to the CSC Garage. Let me ask you a question. Do your e-bike brakes sound like a turkey call? Have no fear. In this episode, we're going to show you some simple brake maintenance for your CSC e-bike. All CSC e-bikes share the same brake pads and similar braking systems, the Tektro brakes. We're going to do this procedure on the FT20. If you want to see some riding footage of this bike, check out the link above. Now let's get to it. I'm excited to show you this because it's such an easy technique. You're only going to need a few tools. We've got the 3mm Allen, a 5mm Allen, some sandpaper, some clean rags, brake cleaner. If you don't have brake cleaner, you can use some 91% rubbing alcohol. If you don't have rubbing alcohol, take out that tequila, drink the tequila, and step away from the bike.
Yes, come on, straight up, bud.
What we want to do is remove the brake pads so that we can deglaze, clean those, and we're also going to scuff up the brake disc itself so that we have a good friction. If your brake pads are too worn or sometimes they get damaged or chipped, we've got replacements. You can check those out on our website. They work with all of CSC e-bikes. Easy replacement, but sometimes they just need a little maintenance. So we're going to start with the 3mm Allen. We're going to loosen up this screw that holds the brake pads in place. This screw goes through a little spring clip as well as the top of the two pads. We're going to get that out of the way. Now we're going to take our 5mm Allen and go ahead and pull that caliper off of the bracket. And as we're doing this, we're going to be cleaning these surfaces, but also when we reinstall, we can use these screws, even the mounts for the bracket, to kind of move the caliper around. We want to make sure it's centered over the disc. We want to make sure it's at the correct height so it's not rubbing anything. Okay, now we can get the caliper off and then remove our pads. So we'll go ahead and pull these pads out. You see that spring still holding tension on this pad. And we've got the spring clip. So when we go to reinstall, we'll put the spring in first and then the pads. If you have a new e-bike, one thing you're really going to want to do is thoroughly clean the disc before you use the bike. They come packed with some oil substance to keep things from corroding during shipment. Really clean that off before you use the bike. Even though you've done that, sometimes the pads can become glazed over. A lot of times excessive heat or dirt or debris while you're riding can get on these pads. So there's a quick way that you can clean these. We've got some sandpaper here. This is a 220 grit. Whatever you've got in that old junk drawer in the back side of your kitchen cabinets, pull that out. You can use that. But what we're wanting to do is scuff up that surface. We're really kind of removing the top surface on this brake pad to remove any kind of contaminants or glazed over areas on it. And then we'll take the other pad, repeat that process. Scuff those up. Now we want to get the powder off and kind of clean those. Now we're just going to use a little brake cleaner on the surface of these pads, kind of clean those up, get that powder off, getting contaminants off. While that's air drying, we're going to focus on the discs. Now we're going to clean the surface, kind of scuff up the surface of this brake disc. If you've ever cleaned a CD or DVD, it's kind of the same motion.
Do you know what a CD stands for?
Is it choreography device? Crazy dance?
We're going to go from the center out rather than going around like this. So. And we're going to work both the front and the back of that disc. Now that we've scuffed up the entire braking surface of this brake disc, we're going to use some more brake cleaner to clean that disc. Now as I do this, I'm going to wipe it with a rag. I want to continue wiping until there's no longer any dirt showing on that rag, so we know that we have it very, very clean. So we've got this one very clean. Now we're ready to reinstall the caliper. Okay, now we're ready to reinsert the pads. We're gonna put the spring clip in between the two pads. So it kind of fits like this. And then the outer pad like this. And that's what's retracting those pads. And just push those up in there. We're going to reinsert the pin. Make sure that it goes through both pads and the clip in the middle of them. And slide those right back over the disc. Reinsert our screws. And we're going to leave these a little loose. We've left these loose so that this can move around some. Just going to barely snug it up. Now I'm going to rotate, and I can hear that disc is scratching a little bit on the surface. So I'm going to, a small amount of noise is okay. You don't want too much friction. Now I can squeeze the brake to help center that caliper and then lock it down. Thanks for joining us once again at the CSC Garage. I enjoyed showing you just how easy it is to perform maintenance on the brakes of your e-bike. For any of the parts or accessories for e-bikes, check out our website. And until next time,